Factually inaccurate. Morally correct. This is Babylon Bee Radio. Our top story. Donald Trump says he is once again the victim of, quote, massive and widespread fraud and deception after losing 12 games in a row of Mario Kart. The former president is now calling for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles for Mario Kart, effective immediately.
This is not what our great founder of Mario Kart, Shigeru Miyamoto, would have wanted. So what do? Do we throw these results out and name me Star Cup Grand Prix 150cc rightful winner? Or do we have a new race? There can be no other explanation for this magnitude and type of tremendous fraud against me, your favorite president. They gave me sad, worthless items like bananas every time, and never a single golden mushroom or lightning. I demand that big tech companies and the Democratic Party be held accountable for this outrageous, treasonous level of collusion.
Nintendo has responded by saying they have not made any changes to Mario Kart in decades and that they have no plans of doing so now. They advised Mr. Trump to, quote, consider trying the 50cc or 100cc races to practice more before engaging in more challenging competitions. At airtime, Trump announced that he threw his copy of Mario Kart 64 in the trash and that he was making his own Trump Kart 65 that will be
better, frankly, in every way possible.
In a surprise reversal from over 6 years of opposition, Democrats in Congress have officially endorsed Donald Trump for president in 2024 after he called for the suspension of the U.S. Constitution on Truth Social. Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi released a statement.
Finally, a bold leader supports what we've been trying to do for decades. The Constitution has been blocking Democrat efforts to make the world a better place through suffocating government tyranny for a very long time. We heartily endorse this brave statesman for the next presidential election. What a great guy!
Early polling indicates Trump now enjoys a 93% approval rating among Democrats and a 100% approval rating from, quote, only Trump Republicans. Experts believe he's now a favorite to win his next 5 presidential elections, as long as he follows through on his promise of suspending the U.S. Constitution. At airtime, Trump had fallen back out of favorability with Democrats after vowing to execute all journalists as his first act in office. Democrats have dedicated themselves to finding a new social media platform that will agree to censor damaging stories coming about how they used other social media platforms to censor damaging stories. After documents from inside Twitter revealed censorship of private citizens at the direction of politicians, Democrats have responded by calling for social media to censor even harder.
It's pretty clear at this point that the First Amendment was a terrible idea,
said Senator Elizabeth Warren.
If you let average citizens speak, why, they might embarrass me repeatedly by attaching fact checks to all my wildly erroneous statements on Twitter. It's getting super annoying.
While Democrats directing the banning of speech has been widely derided, censorship aficionado David French has defended their actions.
Honestly, I can't get enough of Joe Biden squashing free speech. I'll make literally whatever excuse I can think of to get more. I will argue with a straight face that right before the election, Joe Biden was simply a private citizen like you and me who never ever spoke to a sitting member of Congress. Therefore, his demands for speech censorship have no First Amendment implications since Joe Biden had absolutely zero connections to the government before becoming president. I know that may sound insane, and that Democratic representatives are even on record saying it's a First Amendment issue, but gosh darn it, I can't get enough censorship.
Elon Musk has vowed to simply buy whatever platform the Democrats try to move to next. Baal, the ancient Mesopotamian deity described in scripture and demonological textbooks such as Pseudomonarchia Demonum, has distanced itself from Balenciaga after the company's recent scandal.
I can't be associated with this stuff. I have never been associated with Balenciaga or any of their designers or leadership, and I disavowed the photographers and designers who created this sick imagery. I will not be taking questions at this time. They're making me look really bad here.
Baal is the latest of many entities that have sought to disassociate from the beleaguered fashion brand. Lucifer, Beelzebub, Satanas, Abaddon, Mammon, Belphegor, and Asmodeus, the demons of pride, gluttony, wrath, sloth, greed, envy, and lust, have each distanced themselves from Balenciaga. Several fashion experts, however, criticized Baal's move to distance itself.
We in the fashion industry have served Baal faithfully for years. He doesn't get to back out of this now. Baal, hear us, Baal!
At airtime, Baal had also attempted to distance itself from the Biden administration. The Kennel Club's annual dog show competition was taken by storm this year by first-ever trans furry competitor Blake Ruff. The decision was made unanimously by judges to award Mr. Ruff with the event's most coveted title of Best in Show. According to sources, Blake Ruff had never won a single competition of any sort in his life until he realized that he's not a mediocre adult male. He's actually a blue Alaskan Malamute.
Recognizing who I truly am has been a liberating journey. I've always been a dog on the inside, and now the world can finally see the real me,
said Mr. Ruff, hiking his leg and urinating on the public sidewalk.
I still can't believe we made it, Blakey! We did it, boy, you won!
Said Chaz Brown, Blake's handler and trainer, as he commanded Blake to roll over for another belly rub.
Working with this breed has been the crowning achievement and greatest joy of my life. I've never met such a smart Alaskan Malamute in my life. No, I have not.
Other competitors complained that allowing a grown man in a dog costume to compete made a mockery of this prestigious event. The Kennel Club responded by immediately disqualifying all naysayers and permanently banning them from future competitions for their bigoted attack against the trans community. Blake Ruff was later arrested for sexual misconduct at an elementary school until he explained that it was okay because he's a dog and that's just what dogs do when they're nervous. Local boy Linus Van Pelt has been permanently banned from the local community theater after an episode in which he commandeered a play rehearsal and began reciting from the Bible.
It's a classic case that shows the dangers of Christian nationalism,
said FBI agent Peter Coram.
You let one little twerp with a blanket use public property to quote from the Bible. Next thing you know, they'll be throwing Buddhists off the roof and birth control will be illegal. Tale as old as time.
The incident happened during a rehearsal for a Christmas play under the direction of a possible co-conspirator named Charlie Brown.
We believe that Mr. Brown may have set the whole thing up just to allow this Linus kid to proselytize on government grounds. Linus reportedly abandoned his blankie just like he abandoned the separation of church and state during his speech. We at the FBI will see to it that this never occurs again.
The FBI then confiscated Linus's blanket for, quote, enhanced interrogation. Rookie heavenly angel Raphael unleashed total panic after forgetting to shout, "Fear not," upon showing himself to a group of Israelites.
What a noob! Those poor people. Oh, they thought Armageddon had arrived. Classic.
The disheartened angel Raphael hung his head in shame as he recounted the events back to his giggling captain Gabriel.
Just had no idea how terrifying I looked to humans. Took like an hour for me to get one of the shepherds to stop running. After all the training we did on talking to people. It blew it. So bad. Such an idiot.
After the chuckles subsided, Gabriel threw his arm around the rookie's shoulder and reassured him that every messenger angel has had awkward interactions with humankind.
You know, son, I accidentally made the prophet Daniel sick for like a week. Remember, in human minds, we're skinny little guys with a penchant for robes. It's a real shock to their fragile little system.
At airtime, Raphael had reportedly been entered into a remedial Talking to Humans Without Unleashing Utter Hysteria class. The B Radio podcast features officially curated content from the Babylon Bee, scripted, voiced, and produced by Austin Robertson. Additional voices in this episode from Bettina, Jarrett, and Kristen. Don't miss an episode. Subscribe to B Radio on YouTube, Spotify, and at babylonbee.com/podcasts.